Hi there, we are in the middle of creating our Cannon shooter game, and if you don't remember, we made a level design in previous video, and in this video we're gonna just try to move Cannon left and right, all by using visual scripting. We're not gonna code in C#, so don't be afraid, it will be nice and easy. Now let's go and create scripts for this level. First of all, let's go to Window and check if Visual Scripting is installed. It's here. If not, as you can remember, you go to Package Manager and type Visual Scripting. Okay. As soon as you type Visual Scripting, it will take some time and it will load you the package. Okay. So because we're going to make a script for cannon movement, let's first select the cannon. I'm going to press add component and add script machine. You can find it by typing script. Okay, now we have it, and as you could remember before, the script is empty because we need to create one. So press new, and here I'm going to press new folder. We try to organize everything. So new folder, v scripts. Inside of this folder, I'm going to type cannon move. Cannon move. Okay, let's press edit graph. Edit graph. It will take some time. As you can see, it will download a couple of assets for it. Okay, here we have it. I usually try to dock it as soon as I have this. I already, so you can just dock the window here, or I already have the layout MacBook 13 Visual Scripting, so which is already made this possible. So make sure you also have your own layout for speeding things up. We're not going to use OnStart, so right click and delete this. If you double click on the gray area, you can zoom in, so it will give us more space. So first thing first, let's get access. Just as previous seminar, let's get track of any key press. In this case, we want to move our cannon left and right, so and because of that, we're going to use horizontal. So horizontal. We're going to track horizontal axis, and we're going to right click and type set variable, set graph variable. Let's connect the variable here and output of axis here. And as you can see, there's no variable, so let's create one. If you press on this icon, it's a blackboard. H input, the same name we used in previous seminar. Type is float, and now this variable is here, so we can see this. And if you remember, the values were too fast last time or too slow, depends on what type of movement we're using. So we're gonna add our node multiply, MUL, and you will see this multiply in math scalar. So we're gonna feed this H output to A slot, and we're gonna multiply this one. I think 1.5 will work for us. And if you remember, last seminar we did add torque, but add torque is better suited for rotating ball, like giving rotating effect. Here we just want to move it left and right. So there's a nice feature for this, is a set velocity, so it will move object left and right. So because we're using rigid body, make sure you add rigid body. Don't forget about this, or your script will send you a mistake. So RIG, rigid body, and now you have rigid body on your cannon object. Let's go back to script graph, and now I can add set velocity. It will come up, set velocity, rigid body, set velocity. Okay, so this one is what we need. So rigid body, set velocity. Let's connect this here, but you will fall to the problem. If you're gonna just send this to A and B, it won't take it. As you can see, multiply only sends one value, and this one requires 3 values output. So it requires a vector 3. As you know, vector 3 is this 3 vectors. So it asks us for vector 3, but we don't giving them vector 3. We're only giving them one value, one small value. So that's why let's move this node back and let's create new vector 3. It's like a variable, but it's like dynamic variable. So let's right click. So you don't have to create this from here. You can just create this from here. So just type create vector. Yeah, we need this one. Create vector 3 xyz. And now we can feed the value of the multiply to x value in this case. So we need to move it by x. So as you can see, these are 2 blank, so they will be blank here, so they will be always at 0. But this value, we're gonna drive it from x-axis, and now rigid body will accept this value because now it's a 3-point value, vector 3 value. Although these 2 are technically not doing anything. If for more complicated setups, you can make different inputs and feed them to different slots as well. So yeah, that's our quick overview of the script. Let's I'll just show it in this full mode so you can see what we've did here. Let's test it. So I'm gonna press play, switch to the scene view so we can see from both angles. Make sure you press on the game view. Your game tab is activated to just get this. Ooh, we have really funny motion. We just could be pretty funny for different types of games, but yeah, that's really funny. It's working, but as you can see, it's rotating and doing all that crazy stuff. So we don't want that. So how can we limit this object movement? By the way, I'm gonna deselect the gizmos so they not on the way. If you press on this icon, you can fully deactivate all gizmos. So if you remember, we had constraints at rigid body. So I'm gonna open up constraints, and what I want to do is freeze its position by z-axis and freeze all rotation. So we don't want this cube to ever rotate. We want this cube to only slide. So with this limitations, let's press play again. To game view. Don't forget to go to game view. Yeah, now as you can see, because we limited rotation, we're only getting this nice sliding motion. The problem is, if I'm gonna go here, I will fall. Ooh, yeah. Now the cannon is falling, and this is not what we want. And we're gonna just use a super simple solution for this. The most simple solution we could came up with. And you already know that the mesh renderer and box collider is a different property, so you can make invisible walls. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna create 2 invisible walls. So go here, create a cube, name this one block R, so it's blocking it from right side. Just put it here. I think it should be, it's hard to say what is the value, but that's it. Now let's make it bigger, like this. And there's you can snap, by the way, the object. So if you press V on your keyboard and with the V selected, you can use this snap tool, which is really nice thing. So I'm going to snap this here and then just move it like this in the center. So yeah, now I'm going to duplicate block R, type block L, and I'm just going to remove minus from Z, I think, and no, not from Z, but I should add minus to X here, minus here, and now we have two physical blockers here that will block out, just physically will block out. So now the cannon can just move because it's stuck to those walls. Yeah, like this. It can't move. Whatever I type, it can move. The only problem that these cubes are looking ugly. We don't want that, so that's why we just will deactivate mesh renderer component on them too. So I'm going to select both of them, and you see this mesh renderer. I'm going to just unclick this. So now, if I'm going to turn on the gizmos, you will see that these two have this physical areas that blocking them because the collider is on, but we can't see this. So that's why now, whatever we do, be limited by this physical. Although limiting like this is not the best option because sometimes the physics can get it wrong and you can still escape. Sometimes it happens, but for this project, it works pretty nice. I think it's a bit slow. Let's go to script graph, maybe make it 2, so it's just moving faster. So yeah, now we have the script for a moving cannon. I'm just gonna double check that you see everything. So on update, get access, set variable, then we multiply, then we create vector3 to only get this x value because rigid body set velocity asks us for 3 value, and the output of vector3 is sent to rigid body set velocity. Make sure that rigid body is installed, not installed, but maybe installed. So you added this component to your game object. So yeah, the rigid body is installed on your cannon object. Yeah, so this is it for moving cannon and blocking its movement.
So that was fun, I hope. Now our cannon is moving left and right. In the next video, we're gonna make shooting logic to the cannon, so every time we press space, our cannon will shoot. And if you are getting value of these videos, or you're just really interested in making games using Unity and visual scripting, feel free to subscribe. We have a lot of fun content coming up.